We have a film review of the notorious, as you call him, B.I.G, Biggie Smalls, or as I call him, the notorious P.I.G.
Rest in peace, B.I.G and Big Pun.
By the way, how come nobody is fessing up and telling us who killed Biggie Smalls or Tupac Shakur or Jam Master Jay?
I don't know who. Hey, man. I'm not speaking on that.
Yeah, well, let me tell you why I qualify. Because the code of the streets is like the code of omerta in organized crime. Snitches get stitches and end up in ditches, right?
That's right.
See? But not Curtis Lewa. Curtis flexes. And I'm not talking like 50 Cent Curtis. Curtis Lewa says, I eat the Parmesan cheese. I live to drop dime. I live to rat out criminals.
Hey, Curtis, let me ask you, why you don't come to North no more? I don't see you down Grafton Ave no more.
Okay, I will be coming there. By the way, we're running out of time, so guess what? Qualified. I have disqualified you. Like you have Facebook, right? You friend, you defriend. And for all of you, you can face off with me on Facebook. We can continue this. Friend or foe. MySpace.com, or just go to CurtisSliwa.com. That's CurtisSliwa.com for all your video and audio needs, everything you need to know about my 18 years in talk radio and as leader of the Guardian Angels around the world. 22 minutes after the hour, and these words have hypnotized a young, degenerate hip-hop, rap-crap generation. The leader of the pack, Biggie Smalls, a.k.a. the Notorious Big. Well, they put his life story up on the big screen. You can't, without going to any TV channel, you can't miss the advertisements in the newspapers, the magazines. I don't know where they're getting this mad money for this budget, but they are. And she was kind enough to go see a preview. Debbie Schlussel of DebbieDoesPolitics.com. That's DebbieDoesPolitics.com. You saw the flick how long ago, Deb?
Last week.
Okay, so as our initial film reviewer, we're baptizing you as, we'll call you our subcultural film reviewer. What did you make of this big screen extravaganza?
You know, it's a lot of glorification of what is essentially a thug and a drug dealer and somebody that's no good. And people in this screening that I was at, and it was a critics and media screening, were crying at the end of this movie as if this was some great person that was assassinated. And it truly wasn't. I think the world really isn't worse off without this guy. And by the way, the movie glosses over what a thug this guy was. Biggie Smalls, Christopher Wallace, beat people up. He robbed them. He did this to concert promoters that helped him earn money and helped get him off the streets, where he could sing songs like Me and My B-Word and N-Words Bleed, and the 10 Crack Commandments. I mean, this guy is scum. His music was scum. The stuff that they showed in this movie, at least they showed some of his upbringing and his behavior, where he started as a drug dealer and a crack dealer at age 13, where other people wouldn't sell drugs to pregnant women, and he said that he had a business to run, so he sold them drugs. It showed all of these women he was sleeping around with and fathering kids with, his relationship with the equally sleazy Lil Kim, who is still with us. And I just really was disappointed that a movie like this showed this guy as a sympathetic character when, in fact, he wasn't sympathetic at all. When I walked out of this movie, I thought to myself, well, I guess if they can make a movie glorifying what might be the white version of him in Larry Flint as some kind of American hero, then I guess they can glorify him too. But I found it disgusting.
Well, the problem here, Debbie, is the impact it will have on young people. For instance, a lot of our listeners, they're not in tune with this hip-hop, rap-crap subculture, so they have no idea. But they've seen the commercials because they're running endlessly on TV for this movie that comes out this weekend. When you said the 10 Crack Commandments, I re-listened to it because I remember when it first came out. Like, every second word is a curse word. So if the kid is listening to on their iPods or their headphones, all they're rapid firing out of these curse words. You talk about for liberals and progressives who hate, homophobes or misogynists. There's homophobic, misogynist words a mile a minute, and yet he's embraced by those in Hollywood.
Well, and I'm glad you said that, because I was just going to say that I don't think that black kids in America really need, the black Americans really need another movie like this. But in fact, you're right. It's all young kids, because the hip-hop culture really is, it's all over America in all sectors. And this movie, every other word was an F word or a P word. And, in fact, they show some of his raps, and I don't think he was talented at all. Every other word is exactly what you said. It's all curse words, and it's just disgusting. It's not entertaining. This is not a movie for kids at all. It's a vile movie. I really think it should have gotten, frankly, an NC-17 rating.
Well, give you an example. You remember the movie 8 Mile about Eminem.
Right.
Didn't like the movie, don't like Eminem, but it was a well-done movie. It wasn't every 5 seconds a curse word, this, that. There was a story you could sort of follow. Whether you could relate to it or not is another thing. What's this? Vile, despicable. And then they talk about the group that he formed called Junior Mafia, and they don't necessarily explain it, but he claimed that Junior Mafia meant, the acronym, Junior Masters at Finding Intelligent Attitudes.
Right. And they don't really talk much about the Junior Mafia in the movie. I mean, they show all those people, but yeah, I don't think it had anything to do with intelligence. I think what it had to do with is whorish women like Lil Kim and fellow drug dealers. And by the way, another thing about this movie is that a big player in this movie, a big character in the movie, and a big player in promoting this kind of vile trash on the American public was Sean Combs, who we've known variously as Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, and now I think he's just Diddy. And Sean Combs was in charge of, or was the guy that basically developed Biggie and made him into a big star. And I think that it's not a stretch to say that this is the Obama America, because we know that Diddy was very big in promoting Barack Obama, and this is the kind of stuff that he is connected with.
Well, look, we know that Obama likes listening to this rap crap on his iPod, but I'll tell you this much, and this is where they're fake, phony frauds. Biggie Smalls went to Catholic elementary school, was an honor school student. So it's not like he came from a life of being a degenerate, like he followed in his father or his brother's footsteps. Sean Puff Daddy Combs went to Mount St. Michael's, a prestigious Catholic high school in the Bronx. Oh, yeah, his father was no good. He was a drug slinger. But the point is, I'm tired of looking at those advertisements, I.B. King or something like that, or with that toilet water, that Chanel No. 5. Forget about it. Up next, girls don't want to kiss anymore. Is this true?